Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads. It's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
A sunny afternoon at a college campus, light breeze blowing.
Do they look beautiful?
Elora picked up a pair of earrings and placed them beside her ear, asking for Zane Martel's opinion. A breeze blew through Elora's hair, revealing her delicate cheeks with a mischievous touch. Her eyes were like a spring, clear, youthful, and lively, resembling a mischievous elf, causing Zane Martel's heart to itch.
They look nice. Elora, you'll look good no matter what you wear.
It's been a while since we met, yet you're already a sweet talker. Tell me, are there often beautiful girls around you when I wasn't around?
Of course not. Elora, I am innocent.
Then what about Bo Thompson, Her Highness? I can tell that her feelings for you are not innocent.
You've wronged me. Bo Thompson is just a friend.
Zane Martel was helpless. His feelings for Bo Thompson were nothing more than friends. However, he did not know if Bo Thompson's feelings for him were different. As a woman, Elora knew women better than Zane Martel did. She could vaguely feel some extraordinary feelings Bo Thompson had for Zane Martel.
I'll try to trust you this time.
Elora refuted and then continued strolling around with Zane Martel. Then a voice was heard saying,
"Hey there, gorgeous. Isn't it a waste of time for you to hang around a loser like him? Beautiful, what's your name? Tell me."
3 people came over to them. The leader had 2 short and fierce horns on his forehead, revealing 2 tiger teeth. He kept looking at Elora with a perverted gaze.
"Hey, he's asking you a question. Brat, let go of her."
A lackey shouted at Zane Martel. Zane Martel's expression darkened, and the smile on his face slowly stiffened. Sure enough, there was no shortage of ignorant fools like them who would cause trouble everywhere. He shouted coldly,
Get lost if you don't want to die.
The leader of the pack frowned and got upset.
Do you know who I am? How dare you talk to me like this? I'll give you an option. Now, send her to my residence and collect her tomorrow. Otherwise, I will...
However, before he could finish his sentence, Zane Martel could not hold back his anger and punched out. A wild wind howled, and the mountain-like heavy fist fell on the horned man's abdomen. Like a cannonball, the horned man was instantly sent flying. He crashed into the wall and spat out blood, already unconscious.
"Boss! Boss!"
The expressions of the 2 lackeys changed drastically as they hurriedly ran over to check on the horned man's injuries, after which they clenched their teeth and questioned Zane Martel.
"How dare you attack someone from the Tang family? Do you wish to die?"
The tension in the air was palpable. What would happen next? Would Zane Martel face the wrath of the Tang family, or was there more to this confrontation than met the eye? The uncertainty hung in the air, thick with anticipation. A busy college campus, gathering crowd. Such a huge commotion soon attracted the people around. Seeing that the unconscious guy was Tang Walter from the Tang family, they were immediately shocked and burst into whispered discussions.
Is this guy new to the Qing continent? How dare he attack Tang Walter of the Tang family? He's dead meat.
Yes, the Tang family is influential in the Qing continent. Even the Divine Hawk Camp members won't dare to provoke them.
Zane Martel frowned. It seemed that this ignorant fool had quite a strong background. However, Zane Martel would not let him off regardless of who he was, since he dared to act indecently toward Elora.
Elora, let's go. Don't bother about them.
Okay.
Elora nodded and was unbothered. One of the lackeys glared at Zane Martel.
"Stand there. Do you think you can leave after hurting someone from the Tang family?"
Seeing this, Zane Martel shot out a streak of sword energy. It pierced through the lackey's shoulder. Immediately, blood gushed like a spring, and he screamed in pain.
Do you want to stop me too?
Zane Martel looked at another lackey. The man's face turned livid, and he shook his head in horror. Soon, Zane Martel and Elora walked away and wandered to other places. As for the Tang family and Tang Walter, the 2 didn't take them seriously at all. Before they knew it, the 2 had arrived in front of a large building called the Kangmu Arena.
What? Kangmu Arena?
Zane Martel's eyes lit up, looking like he was interested in the building. The Kangmu Arena was well known throughout the Mystic Territory. Almost everyone had heard of it. The Kangmu Arena was not an organization. Instead, it was a place where people fought to the death with their fists. The organization in charge of the arena was the leading force in Mystic Territory, the Wormhaven Palace. The Wormhaven Palace was an incomparably large organization. Its influence was beyond Zane Martell and the others' expectations. Low-level kingdoms like the Yarrow, Lyran Kingdom, and even Eastern Palm were nothing but trash in front of the Wormhaven Palace. As long as the Wormhaven Palace had a will, they could destroy these low-level kingdoms tens of thousands of times in a few minutes. After that, they could easily establish a new kingdom. The owner of the Wormhaven Palace was the legendary Kangmu Dragon King. He was the only Martial Royal level expert from the Mystic Territory that Zane Martell knew of. Different Kangmu arenas were widely distributed throughout the entire Mystic Territory. Any strong place would own at least one Kangmu arena. The Seven Kingdoms Alliance and Eastern Palm were too weak, so they did not have the right to build their own Kangmu arenas. In fact, this Kangmu arena before Zane Martell was established in the heyday of the Northern Demon Country. In the Kangmu arena, people were free to kill and seek revenge. Those who died in the arena could not be avenged in private. This was the heaven of the experts and the hell of the weak. Life here was like grass, the least valuable. But as long as one had the strength, one could easily get crystals, medicinal pills, herbs, human lives, and beautiful women.
Zane Martell, are you interested in this building?
Elora widened her bright eyes and asked.
I am.
Zane Martell nodded. He was a martial artist, so he naturally admired such a place.
Then let's go in and have a look.
As she spoke, Elora pulled Zane Martell's hand and walked in. There were guards at the entrance. If one wanted to enter, one would have to pay 1,000 crystals. No one in the entire Qing continent, or even the entire Northern Demon Country, would dare to behave atrociously in this place, as this was the Kangmu Arena, a place backed by the Wormhaven Palace. Inside the bustling Kangmu Arena, whether it was the Divine Hawk Camp, the Tang family, or the current fake royal family, all of them would have to respect the Kangmu Arena. After all, no matter how powerful they were only powerful in this place. In other words, their strength was nothing when compared to places with people way stronger than them. After entering the arena, they were surprised to find that the arena was wider than they had imagined. There were dozens of spectator stands set up in the surroundings of the arena, making it no problem to accommodate hundreds of thousands of people. In the center of the arena was a huge arena, 2 or 3 meters wide. Dense runes were carved on it, constantly repairing the arena. At this time, 2 people were fighting fiercely in the ring.
Good fight.
Praises were heard around the ring. Those watching the battle were all very excited. There were at least 100,000 people in the arena. Zane Martell estimated the ticket revenue alone for the Kangmu Arena was over 100 million crystals a day.
Ha 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 ha! How dare you challenge me in the ring? Go to hell!
A burly middle-aged man roared and laughed. He was filled with killing intent as he swung the saber in his hand. Inside the bustling Kangmu Arena, the crowd roared. The 2 were both at the 5th stage of the advanced level. When blade light and sword energy collided, the sound of an explosion immediately rang out. Suddenly, the burly man sped up. His blade light was faster and directly cut off his opponent's head.
Ha ha ha! As I said, how dare you fight me? If I win this round, I'll have 1,000,000 crystals. Who else? Who else wants to challenge me? I might as well win the remaining 2,000,000 crystals.
The audience was unsatisfied, constantly recalling the battle between the 2, but no one was willing to accept the challenge.
He has already won 5 rounds, hasn't he? Is anyone willing to challenge him?
I guess there will be. After all, the more winning streaks, the more the Kangmu Arena will reward him.
Think about it. Although 1,000,000 crystals aren't a lot, killing several people will easily get you 1,000,000 crystals. There's no job easier than this.
Hearing the crowd's conversation, Zane Martell suddenly thought of the rules of the Kangmu Arena. In the Kangmu Arena, all the spectators who had paid to watch the match were fighting in the ring. They could challenge the winners in the ring at will. The first battle was between those on the same level. If the winner in the ring was at the 5th stage of the advanced level, then the challenger must also be at the 5th stage or lower. In other words, they could only challenge those of an equal or higher level. Kangmu Arena would reward the winner accordingly for each battle. The reward for the first round was 10,000 crystals. If someone won 2 rounds in a row, he would win 100,000 crystals. The reward kept rolling until the 5th consecutive win. Then, the winner would be rewarded with 1,000,000 crystals. After winning 5 rounds in a row, the Kangmu Arena would dispatch their in-house martial artists for the challenge if no one stood up to challenge the winner. For the matches between the winner and the Kangmu Arena's in-house martial artist, winning each round would be rewarded with 1,000,000 crystals. It was a handsome reward. However, one could only win several rounds in a row. After all, Kangmu Arena's in-house martial artists were all experts. They were not qualified to stand in the battle ring if they weren't strong enough. After 10 consecutive victories, one would then be qualified to fight someone at a different level. Then, each round of battle would be rewarded with various lucrative prizes. It was rumored that if one won 3 consecutive rounds fighting others at different levels, the prizes could accumulate up to 30,000,000 crystals. Many dream of getting that reward.
Do you wish to continue the challenge? In the 6th round, you will fight someone from the Kangmu Arena.
Sure. I'm far from satisfied after only winning 5 rounds in a row.
All right.
The referee nodded and murmured something to the token in his hand. Soon, a middle-aged man in his 50s stepped into the ring with a thick tail behind his butt. The tail whipped the ground hard as he rushed toward the burly man. A loud explosion resounded through the sky. The two of them started to fight without saying a word. It was apparent that the fighters arranged by the Kangmu Arena were better. His thick tail suddenly whipped on the burly man's body. The burly man was sent flying away, leaving a bloody scar on his chest. His limbs and bones were almost crushed, and he spat out a mouthful of blood.
I admit defeat.
The burly man's face fell, and he surrendered. If he did not surrender and continued to fight, he would likely die in the ring. After all, there was no law in the Kangmu Arena. Violence was the only law. No death in the battle ring would be pitied. Soon, the burly man got off the stage after receiving 1,000,000 crystals. Then, the man from Kangmu Arena also left the ring.
Now that the ring is empty, who would like to start a challenge?
The referee glanced at the audience.
Let me try.
Soon, a young man in his 20s jumped down from the audience and looked at the crowd with a smile.
I am in the 6th stage of the advanced level. Who wants to challenge me?
The man put his hands on his hips.
I'll accept the challenge.
Very quickly, a middle-aged woman at the 6th stage of the advanced level jumped into the ring and started fighting with the man. The man held a war saber and swung it out. His saber radiance was unstoppable. The middle-aged woman had a long whip in her hand. The whip hit the air and made a crackling sound. Every time the middle-aged woman was about to hit the young man with her long whip, the young man would easily block her attack with his saber. About 2 minutes later, the two had exchanged more than 100 rounds. The middle-aged woman was slowly no match for the man's stamina. Suddenly, a knife light came at her. The woman's flesh was cut open.
I lost.
The woman's expression was ashen, and she stepped down from the ring. After that, an old man jumped onto the ring and fought the young man. However, he was defeated in just a dozen rounds. People kept coming forward to challenge the young man, but they were all defeated. Half an hour later, the young man had won 5 rounds.
That's satisfying. Is there anyone else? Come on.
The young man laughed heartily. After witnessing the matches, Zane Martel was filled with fighting spirit, and his eyes shone. He was a martial artist, so he was naturally keen on fighting. Elora, who was next to him, saw him and said with a smile,
Go if you want to try.
Zane Martel was startled. He turned his head and said,
No, I should be here to accompany you.
It was not easy for the two to finally have some time alone. Zane Martel did not want anything to disturb their date. Moreover, he was not short of money.
Go! I like to see your handsome face while fighting someone in the ring.
Elora smiled and nudged Zane Martel.
Really? Then I won't hesitate anymore.
Zane Martel was delighted and jumped into the arena. Inside the Kangmu Arena, tension is thick in the air. At this moment, the referee called out to Zane Martel and said,
For every match after 5 consecutive victories, the challenger has to let us assess their strength before we let them step into the ring. Come with me.
Zane Martel understood the Kangmu Arena was doing this to prevent the challengers from being too weak or to conspire with the other challengers to swindle the crystals. Moreover, most of the audience paid for the tickets, expecting a fierce battle. What was there to see if there was a massive gap in strength between the two sides? In that case, people wouldn't bother coming to the Kangmu Arena anymore. Therefore, only those who could pass the test would get to challenge the winner. Soon, Zane Martel was brought to a huge stone monument, and the referee said,
"Hit it with your strength."
A loud noise was heard, and the stone monument immediately lit up.
"Your strength is not bad. You've passed the test and you can challenge him."
Soon, Zane Martel landed in the ring and met the young man's eyes.
Ha! If I defeated you, I'd be winning 6 rounds in a row and I'd get 2 million crystals by then. Stay obedient and let me knock you down.
The man laughed and rushed over with the saber. The saber radiance was sharp and dazzling. Intense showdown between Zane Martel and the young man, surrounded by the eager crowd. Zane Martel narrowed his eyes. With his 3 eyes, everything in front of him appeared extremely clear. The movements of the young man with the saber, including his next move and trajectory, could almost be predicted. Zane Martel easily dodged all the attacks from the young man.
Outrageous. You're only avoiding my attacks. What else can you do, you loser? Fight face to face if you have what it takes.
The young man roared and swung his saber dozens of times. The dense saber radiance shot out like a tight dragnet, trapping Zane Martel.
Who is this guy? I haven't seen him before.
He's only using his speed, yet he's already making his opponent lose his mind. I have to say, his strength should not be underestimated.
The audience broke into discussion.
How dare you? Are you looking down on me? I'll kill you.
With a roar, the young man's body transformed into a half-human, half-pig. A violent hurricane erupted around the man, indicating his increased strength.
Finally.
Zane Martel was elated. He didn't make a move for a long time because he wanted to irritate the young man for him to transform into a beast to fight him. Since he was in the Northern Demon Country, he'd have plenty of chances to interact with the Demon Clan in the future. So he figured he should familiarize himself with the Demon Clan's combat methods now. It would benefit him greatly. The others were not surprised by their beast transformations. They were also members of the Demon Clan and could transform into beasts. Only Elora looked surprised. She did not know Zane Martel had so many trump cards. The half-pig creature stomped his legs and rushed over. Both his strength and speed were beyond what he had displayed before. With a wave of his hand, a knife light several meters long rushed over. Zane Martel did not retreat. Instead, he moved forward, his fist tightly clenched and his blood energy surged. Zane Martel's remarkable display of strength in the Kangmu Arena. A frightening strength gathered on his fist as he smashed it toward the blade light. The saber radiance was crushed like a piece of paper. Zane Martel did not slow down and sent the young man flying out of the ring with a punch.
Heavens, that's amazing.
He's awesome.
You're powerful. You might also win 5 rounds in a row. Don't give up so easily.
The audience's blood was boiling as they cheered for the strength that Zane Martel had displayed. Soon another challenger stepped onto the ring. This time the challenger was a white-haired old man in his 50s.
Transform into a beast to fight me.
I don't need that.
However, Zane Martel did not intend to fight him at all. He combined the major completion power of wind into the wind serpent step and easily avoided the attack.
Do you want to fight or not? You can get out of here if you don't want to fight me.
Like I said, transform into a beast to fight me.
The old man's body rapidly changed, and a pair of white wings extended from his back. He transformed into a white crane.
I mean, he's powerful, but why does he insist his opponents fight him in beast modes?
Maybe he thinks they're too weak, so he wants them to fight him with all their strength in beast mode.
Slowly, the challengers knew what to do and transformed into beast modes before making a move on Zane Martel. Zane Martel was delighted. With Zane Martel's current strength, he could kill even those in the 9th stage of the advanced level, so killing someone in his level was a piece of cake for him. Soon, he won 8 consecutive matches. Excited cheers rang out from all sides of the arena.
Kill. Kill.
Amazing. Can you manage to take him down with one move?
Don't give up now, so that we can see you challenge across levels.
Since no one is willing to challenge him, Kangmu Arena will send our representatives.
Soon, a burly man stepped into the ring.
Transform into a beast and fight me.
There's no need for that.
The burly man's cultivation level may have been only at the 6th stage of the advanced level, but his body surged with vital energy. His burly figure made him look like an iron tower with strength far beyond those who had challenged Zane Martel.
You aren't worthy of that.
The burly man turned around and swung his fist at Zane Martel. His speed got faster and faster, and his strength became stronger and stronger. However, Zane Martel continued to dodge his attacks.
I'll say this for the last time. Transform into a beast and fight me.
Zane Martel flicked his finger gently and blocked the burly man's punch.
Heavens, how strong is Zane Martel? How did he block the Hatchet Man's attack with only one finger?
It seemed he didn't display all his strength before, or maybe he barely used any strength to win the previous rounds. Even the referee couldn't help but twitch his mouth when he saw the scene.